Hello everybody, it's me, Nikki, and today I thought I would show you most of the reading challenges right here that I'm doing that are on storygraph. This is the front page of my storygraph. Spoilers, I suppose. So I do have a couple that are for the month, which I've already talked about. But these are mostly for like a year or more. So yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to go over. So this first one is the Final Fantasy Reading Challenge. So you can start and finish whenever you like. So it can be for a year or more. I keep looking at the camera. The camera isn't on. This challenge contains light spoilers for the games. If you've ever played a Final Fantasy game or you want to. So this is, there are 16 plus some bonus prompts. You can do as many or as little as you want. So Final Fantasy 1 is like the first game. So you have to read like a classic fantasy novel or with a party of heroes saving the world. What I've picked isn't necessarily classic fantasy, but it kind of is, so I added it. Final Fantasy 2 is where a fantasy novel where the heroes fight against an invading force. Final Fantasy 3, a fantasy novel featuring unique jobs and or skill sets like warrior or black mage, or I was thinking a powder mage could fit in here because I have the other two books to read. So 4 is a fantasy novel where the protagonist seeks redemption. I don't know if I have any of those. Oh, excuse me. 5 is a comedic fantasy. 6 has an amnesiac protagonist. 7 is with a technological setting. 8 has female villains. 9, a novel inspired by the classics. 10, Final Fantasy X is one of my favorites, a novel with an island setting. And 10-2, also I love it, majority female cast. Final Fantasy 11, which was the first MMO. So you need protagonists from different countries. 12 is with a political conflict, which I think a lot of fantasy novels have political conflicts. 13 is with a novel featuring a forbidden land. 14 is the second MMO, so a novel with reincarnation. 15 is an urban fantasy. I don't have a lot of urban fantasy, so I'll have to see what I can find. And then the bonus ones are also like part of the game. Like there's a time loop in the first one, an antagonist, but this one happens a lot, or the antagonist is defeated multiple times. It happens a lot in video games. You'll beat the bad guy and then they'll like evolve into a second one or something. A novel featuring a dichotomy and or cycles, featuring the moon. Oh, that'll be fun. Featuring crystals. All the Final Fantasy features crystals. A successful antagonist, where the protagonist undergoes severe loss and or trauma. I feel like that could be in a lot of them. With a fated romance. I'd have to think about that. 9 is a novel about death. 10 is with sacrifice, which could go together, so you could double up those prompts, because on Goodreads, I'll show you in a second, you can add as many times as you want. So 10-2 with music. The music in 10-2 is amazing. The music in all of the Final Fantasy games are amazing. 11, alternate dimensions. 12, about higher beings. 13, featuring visions or dreams. 14, a tragic or sympathetic antagonist. And the final one, a novel with a major time skip. So let's go back here. So here's my current book I'm reading. And as you can see, I've added it to a lot of things. I've tried to add one book to every prompt. But let's click Final Fantasy, because I just showed you that. And right there, as I said, it's a party of heroes saving the world. But I could add it to there. It's not a comedic fantasy. I could add it to there. Let's see. Political conflict. I could add it to a bonus. So yeah, you can add it to like as many as you want to, really. So that is really fun about the reading challenges here. So next we have the Disney Reading Challenge, and this is for a year. And they have 5 films at the moment. Or was that another one? Whatever. The first, Beauty and the Beast, Pocahontas, Little Mermaid, Toy Story, and Parent Trap, and a bonus prompt. So, different time periods. Like this one, I've added Colors of the Wind, a colorful cover. It's not as super colorful as some of the other ones, I'm sure, but well, let's check. Yeah, those are all colorful, but that, I guess, is colorful to me. It's the first thing I thought of. So this one has an animal on the cover. Underwater scene on the cover, mermaids are sirens, friendship, a scary book, preferably featuring a dinosaur, so like Jurassic Park, I'm sure. Yeah, there's In the Lost World. Book set in London, a book with twins. And so yeah, I don't want to go over like every single one, but I kind of do because I just want to talk about these so much. Okay, this is the other one I was thinking of. It's another Disney Readathon. It's for a year. And this is every month, 2 or 3 new characters will be added. So for January, it's Snow White, Cinderella, Aurora, and Elsa. And for February, it was Tiana and Vanellope. So it takes place in Germany, a platonic relationship, fleeing danger, a color in the title, a religious character, a debut book, a white cover, a small cast of characters. For Cinderella, a blended family, takes place in a castle. I think this takes place in a castle. The first one did. Some of the second one might take place in a castle. We'll find out. A toxic home life, has a shoe, classic love story, and of course Aurora is my favorite. Flora or fauna name, 1100 and 1500. Isn't raised by their parents, a slow burn, cottagecore, arranged marriage, a pink cover, anticlimactic ending, and forest animals, involves heartbreak. Elsa has a secret and a special ability in the winter, a duology, let's see, a reluctant reader, and of course we have some bonuses just to make it more interesting. Combine 2 of these 3 boards. Use a book you read in January on February. It's American and then we have Tiana, set in the 1920s, African American, features a restaurant, green, nature. Vanellope has bullies, Jewish, video game, fast-paced book, unlikely friendship, no filter, and then read a romance and use a book you've DNF'd if you've read more than 50%. So, and this will be updated every month around the 20th, as it says. So that's very exciting. And then there's this one. There are 5, and it started with Khaleesi 987. As you can see, it goes for a very long time. And it's a challenge to read something about everything mentioned in the song We Didn't Start the Fire, verses 1 through 5. And the Wikipedia is here. So you can see all the historical events. And like this one, Joe McCarthy, this book is not about Joe McCarthy, but there's a villain that makes me think of Joe McCarthy, if that makes sense. And then I think I did that for Joseph Stalin. That same character makes me, well, he died, but the same character makes me think of like a dictator, Joseph Stalin. I don't think I've added anything else yet. But yeah, this is fun. I like this song, so it'll be fun to add like all these. The New York Giants. I didn't know they were the New York Giants. Okay, you learn something new every day. I think it'll be fun to try to like plot in books on like these random prompts. This one was added because 1916, that's when the book was written. Psycho, again, the villain makes me think of the Psycho guy. Not that he did the things that he did, but like he's the villain type of thing. It would be nice. Did they add Hemingway books? Oh, they did. They've added Hemingway books. I do not like Ernest Hemingway as an author or as a person. I read this book. I hated it. So yeah, this seems it'll be very exciting and freeing. You know, you can add really whatever you want, in my opinion. So, like, China's under martial law. This has kind of, it's not set in China. It's like set in a fantasy inspired Asian setting. Asian inspired fantasy setting, I think is actually the proper way to say that. But it's like a martial law type of situation. So that's what made me think of that. Next we have the Betty White challenge, which I thought was lovely. They wanted to celebrate her 100th birthday, but she died before her birthday. And now this one, it does say you can't use the same book for more than one prompt, but you can basically use anything else. So older than sliced bread, because that is in fact a thing. So something before 1922, a humor book, something about food and drink, something with color, optimism, animals, because Betty loved animals, contests, because Betty was on, as it says, she was on a ton of game shows, some sexy times here, lust, gratitude always, the password is lies, because she was on password and tell the truth, so something with words and lies, and then a couple bonus ones. Thank you for being a friend and trailblazing women. I've added this book because in this world, these two main characters are in fact trailblazers. So this one is the J. Ray Readathon. They are on Instagram, I believe. I am not doing the giveaway. or anything. I just thought it would be fun to do. So I've completed 2, and as you can see, I've just sort of add them where I want them. This was a romance book, which is why I added it. Strong female protagonist, and this was set in Wales, I believe, Cornwall. So that's fun. This one is series Commitment. Read at least one book of any series you've already started prior to 2022 every 2 months or every month. They are bonuses. So down here, like I have a January and February, and up here I have a January and February. So this is a short little thing that seems to be fun. I enjoy it. 20 books over 500 pages. And I'm not, there's 20. That's just what it said. But I haven't added any yet. But I will be doing so. This is the Reading Challenge 2020. Again, for a year. I add read on the cover. It's right there. 5 words in the title. A book I should have read before graduating high school. A book in a series set in a different country. It has a night scene on the cover. At least to me it does. And obviously, look, I read it in October, and this is February, so I just do what I want, because why not? They're not going to stop me, quite frankly. This one looks fun as well. Bookstones of the month. So, like, dark red, dark purples, silver, but they're like, you know, Alexandrite and ruby red, sapphire, topaz, brown yellows, or gold. There's also blue topaz. So yeah, I don't know. These are fun that are just so like generic. You can literally add anything you want to. Here's another one. Kill your TBR. Again, it's for a year. Simple. Read 2 books a month. One you own but haven't read yet, and one in a genre you don't usually read. So I've done January and February, and I haven't added any to that yet. I should have put that there, but yeah, and that's basically what it is all the way down. So it's fun. Next is 12 months of reading. Inspired by book talk prompts, so 1 prompt a month, or complete the prompts at random, which is what I'm doing. So January and February are done, and then you get a bonus reread your favorite 2022 book. And you can leave whenever you want. Like, if you just want to do like 2 prompts, then you can be like, okay, I'm done. I think you can come back once you leave, though. I'm not sure. Tackle your TBR. A lot of these are for basically plugging away at my TBR and knocking it down. Try to read a book you already own. So, you know, a red cover, a book you've been putting off, that swaps perspectives, LGBTQ characters, more than 400 pages, recommended by a friend, a love in the title, a fantasy book about mental health, the latest book you bought, a non-white main character, a book that's won an award in your favorite genre, the shortest unread book you own, and complete a book that doesn't fall under any of those. And I have 2 of these. The Alphabet Book Challenge. It's really just read a book with these letters. This, I was lucky with You'll Be the Death of Me, but as I think Z, X, Q and U will probably be the hardest to do. So, and again, it's just read the alphabet, which is fun. I always find that fun. I think you can add as many books as you want. Let me find. Like this one. Yeah, see, it says prompt complete, but you could just add it again if you wanted to. It's your challenge. Do whatever you want. This is the backlist bookshelf challenge. A few guidelines. So, no books that are owned or borrowed rather than purchasing new ones. Books should be published in 2021 or before. Only count books you've read in 2022. Make this more of a challenge by avoiding double counting. And prioritize books written by authors who aren't white men. So yeah. I've already completed a couple, as you can see. B, a landscape. Author I've never read before. Blue on the cover. A female BIPOC. I haven't read that yet. That you started but never finished. That could count for a lot for me. Published before the year 2000. One of your favorite authors. Takes place before the year 1940. That can also fit. That is less than 300. Again, a genre you don't typically read from. Nonfiction. Different country. LGBTQIA plus main character, and a book with a person on a cover, and of course a bonus, a book that you've actively avoided reading. This is the promptly reading challenge. Anything goes, basically. Do whatever you want. So an animal on the cover, chocolate or chocolates on the cover, multiple POVs, set in a school, and something that feels like a warm hug, something with a monster. I just like these. They're so fun. The backlist book bingo. There are bingo cards on their Instagram. Again, I don't do it on Instagram. I just sort of sign up and go from there. Sapphic book, books with 3 words in the title. A disabled main character set in Australia. A retelling with the main character's name in the title, with a queer main character. A fantasy, a white cover, written by 2 authors, an Achillean book. So whatever that means, I suppose. To them. To you. And then next is one of my favorites. It's the Sailor Moon reading challenge. So last year, this person, Elskaby, did a challenge for them and anyone else, and a lot of people joined up, so they're making another one. Only 1 prompt per character. So Sailor Moon has, a princess, animal companion, or a moon on the cover. And that one had a moon on the cover. Sailor Mercury. This one is... There was water on the cover, and the ice and coldness appears in the book a lot. So Sailor Mars is about like fire or traditional elements. Girls of Storm and Shadow fits the lightning thunderstorm, appears on the title, and it's a romance book. Sailor Venus has sports, love, singing. Neptune is painter, can play instrument, sea, ocean, or water. Any sci-fi novel for Sailor Uranus. Sword, space. It was a sci-fi novel, and space appeared on the title. Sailor Saturn, silence, ruin, or death appears in the title or cover, which it did. Main character has a parent or mentor who is evil or a scientist. Features possession or evil forces manipulating people. So this is more like a horror thing. This wasn't that horror-y, or it wasn't horror at all. It was more of a thriller. Pluto has time travel, key, clock, and university or college. And of course, you can't get away without Sailor Chibi Moon and Tuxedo Mask. Next we have the monthly moods. It's a different feeling that comes with every month. This challenge is to find... I challenge you to find a book that matches the prompt. I challenge you to read at least one book in that prompt for each month. Well, I've kind of done that, but not really. So we've got the fresh start, because it's January. February, of course, is your romance rom-com. This is not a rom-com, but it is a romance. I don't think it's always a happy romance, but it is a romance. It's one of the few romances I have. Fantasy, March, enemies to lovers. April, memoirs. May, historical fiction. June, fairy tale. July, a beach read. August, school. September, thriller. I could have done that as well, but I think I have some that could fit for school. September, thriller. October, witchy. November, found family. And December, holiday. This is the Buzzword Reading Challenge. It's again for a year, and it's a monthly readathon, running through the first week of each month. I don't do that. Alternatively, you can complete this as a reading challenge and just read one book each month, which is what I'm doing, and even then it's not in order because I haven't found any books yet. So we have the 5 W's, a pronoun, a book with a location, a little or big, a direction in the title. We have under, oversea, under stone. So I got 2 there. All in the title, a book related word in the title, book with an item object in the title, light or dark, animal or creature on the title. That has a orca. A book with ing in the title, and that is mock-ing bird. That is all I could get. And a book with a number in the title. We're almost done, I promise. Beat the backlist. There is a website, and the book must be published. You have to start and finish, and that's it. There are optional reading prompts. If you're using the prompts, each book only counts for 1 prompt. So 2 or more people on the cover. 6 words in the title. That one's giving me a hard time. A book about books. A book in a genre you never or rarely read. In the season you read it. Food or food in the title. Inspired by historical event. Unusual or unexpected pet. Author has first, middle, and last name on the cover. Has an active podcast or YouTube channel. The author does. A book about siblings. A book featuring time travel with chapter names. An age group you don't belong to. Classic novel. Co-authored. Debut novel. Social media. Discovered via social media. Everyone has read it but you. Royalty. Finish a series. That's gonna be hard. First in a series you've been putting off. Forgotten book. A graphic novel. Indie or self-published. Family secrets. Longer than 500. Murder. Mystery or both. Mushroom. New to you. Non-fiction. Novella. No number in the title. 1-word title. This one's gonna be hard too because I don't like any of the books celebrities pick. So I probably won't do it. Poetry or anthology. Protagonist has a profession that twists the truth. Published in the month you were born, that's going to be hard to do. That would take some serious Googling. Reading for reference, research, or general interest. Second or fourth book. That is the second book. Set in the space or in the ocean. Set in the mountains. Island. Real or fictional holiday. Superhero or villains. Title is an alliteration. Translated into your native language. I only have one book I can think of that fits that prompt. I don't know if I have any other books that have been translated. I'll have to find out. Wolf or star in the title. Women in the fictional sciences. You watch the show or movie first. Favorite animal and a favorite trope on the page. Next we have another long one, but this is the Flourish and Blot's 2020 Harry Potter Challenge. I know that G from Book Roast used to do Harry Potter, was it Owls and Newts, I think? And she did like a whole thing, and it was so detailed, but of course that J.K. Rowling is transphobic, so she changed it to a different type of thing, but this obviously took effort, but you don't have to like look at anything, you know what I mean? And I do I did like the Harry Potter one because it was a lot of fun. So this has 5 in every class, because I think that's how many levels in Owls. Each of the 12 classes has 5 prompts. Thus you can build a challenge. For example, you can choose only one and go for an O grade, or you could attempt any kind of grade, or you can do all of them. I'm going to try to do all of them. So we've got our ancient runes, which is a lot of translation, symbols, fairy tale retellings, translated differently. That one's a bit particular, so we'll have to look that up. Fictional language, arithmancy, magical numbers, a golden trio, Mad-Eye Moody, astronomy, so outer space, stargazing, celebrities, a celestial name, care of magical creatures of course, a shining cover, an animal on the cover, most anticipated book, scary looking book. Charms has favorite author, a funny book, a short book, a book that contains a feather, and a dual timelines. Defense Against the Dark Arts has a good versus evil, dark magic, a dark cover, an incompetent character, a paranormal book. Divination, of course, you have set in the future, a prophecy, a zodiac sign, and mystery or thriller, and death. And then herbology, plants, green, a book that made you cry, an underdog, history of magic, book that mentions Harry Potter, which makes sense, historical witch or wizard, historical fiction, a novella, a book you slept on, Muggle studies, own voices, STEM, set in school, nonfiction, a yellow cover, potions, it should have poison, romance, 394 page, a book without magic, and a book chosen randomly, transfiguration, book to screen adaptation, shapeshifter, the cover and dust jacket are different colors, that happens a lot, strong female character, and a bestseller. And this one is the Golden Girls Readathon 2022 Reading Challenge. Again, it's for a year. I love these year-long ones. It takes a lot of pressure off. So a city, country, author with your initials, girls in the title, a friend group, cozy mystery with food, LGBTQIA author and character, Historical fiction not in the US, a warm climate setting, first in a series, a scary book, gold on the cover, and features a wedding. And finally, this one will probably be changing, obviously by March, because they do this every year. So I'll have to update, and the way I did it last time, I think I just showed every book, but I'll probably do it this way since it's easier. So you can't use the same book, you can't repeat an author except from the short story square. You can only use one square for reread, and you can substitute one square from the last year. And then of course you can do hard mode, which isn't clickable, but like this is hard mode. So 5 short stories set in Asia, from their genre guide, a found family, first person, a book club, book or read along, new to you author, gothic fantasy, backlist, revenge seeking, mystery plot. Although I don't have a lot of fantasy mysteries, which is a shame. They should write those, or I need those. I'll click on that and see what they have. Comfort read, published in 2021. A cat squasher or lion squasher. It's over 800 pages. Sci-fi related nonfiction. Latin American author or Latinx. Self-published. That one was the hardest to find. A forest setting, genre mashup. I've been over this before, but I'm doing it again. Has chapter titles. Blank of blank. And I got hard mode. Blank of blank and blank. First contact, trans or non-binary, debut, and witches. So yeah, I'm super excited to see what the next bingo looks like. So thanks for watching. I know that was probably long. I hope it was interesting. I love these reading challenges that you can find on Storygraph, and I'm always looking for more, especially year-long ones. I just think they're a lot of fun. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and share. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers this year, or even 80. That would be fun. So yeah, thank you very much. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.